Hail and well met. I just realized I got something playing in the background. Hail and well met. Welcome to Character Crux. It is great to see everybody. Great to see people filing in. Hail, Comicsgate. You are looking sexy today. Oh my goodness. Let's start bringing some people in here.
Hola.
How's it going?
Pretty good, man. Just enjoying some kilt lifter, some Scottish ale, amber ale.
Nice. Today I have Pepsi.
Nice.
Yeah, we're doing good. Welcome, Commie Mark.
What up, my bitches? Well, my comrades in the chat. Hello, greetings, everyone. How you doing?
Doing good. And
Hey,
Kilgore. How are you doing
what
today?
is up, party people?
Doing good. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm just chilling.
Just chilling, relaxing.
chilling.
Yep.
Is that an actual
Really
plate
good.
carrier, or is it just you got on?
Yeah, it's for reals.
Nice. I need to get. So I didn't know if it was a plate carrier or just a vest.
No, this will
Dope.
stop rifle rounds. It's legit.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to have everybody here. We today, just because of a few scheduling conflicts, we're not going to go on with the full campaign next episode, or this episode, but we're going to do a recap, tell everybody where we're at, and talk about some of the characters.
I know that I, for one, need a recap because I have no fucking clue what's going on still.
And you were not here for the first couple episodes anyway.
No.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
So, do you want to do that and go into your world, or how exactly do you want to do it?
We'll start. I was figuring we'd start with you, kind of talking about where we started from, and
Okay.
as opportunities pop up, anyone whose character did something interesting or that you recall at that moment, you can interject.
Okay. So we started out with the concept of a device in my universe that could scan through the multiverse and basically 3D print people from other universes into this crazy one that I made. And they were basically brought into a facility that had this device in it that was what actually made it scan the universe, and it turned out to be a girl, and they chased her around the galaxy basically, and from some dark elves that had her, they encountered some pirates, some strange people out in space trying to help them and extort them, but they ended up at a elvish planet where they found a temple and were attacked by some sort of Cthulhu aboleth creature, and the detective was swallowed whole, and they went down to that temple, found a little girl, and went killed what's his name, Arendor Morfir, the dark
That's okay.
elf.
None of us remembered his name either.
Yeah, I know. I always pick just
real
random
catchy
elf
name,
names.
yeah. Real catchy.
Just add lots of Y's and I's. They brought the girl back onto the ship, and it turns out that she was harbored between a demon and a sort of Cthulhu entity, and was built or made to tear the veil between the living world and the demonic realm. And she went through a process as Steve tried to use a code he found. It was basically like the source code to the universe, and was trying to hack her, and made some sort of Akira-like bioorganic mutation form, and she basically became an orb that is now sentient, named the Crux. That's what she became, and through that we had people hopping in and out, being printed, and guests coming in and out like that. But now we ended up in a completely different universe as the end battle is happening. Basically, the veils of that universe collapsed and was devoured by this large Cthulhu beast, and everyone was kind of sent back to their own worlds. But luckily, the detective got out with the Crux and was able to summon people back to his homeworld. But now it's actually them. They're not 3D printed anymore. They're them, their own actual characters.
Oh, now shit's getting real.
You skipped over all the good bits. So,
well, I want
what
you
about
guys
the
to say your
Triceratops?
guys.
right. So I love the idea that the world, the universe that you had, the technology for summoning people from other dimensions is actually cheaper than simply going out and hiring, live mercenaries that are in that world. And that humor that you had, So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, humor that you were incorporating into that world, I thought was really, really good.
I was just trying to over-exaggerate everything. I like Hitchhiker's Guide, how everything's just over the top.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, bringing the Triceratops. Did we bring the Triceratops with us? Or is it got devoured in the last world?
Right? He made it.
It floated out in space at the end there somewhere.
Potentially still floating out in space. Maybe we'll have to make sure that we find a way to bring them back in. But so let's actually walk through that a little bit. We had Steve, main character, right? He was the
NPC guide,
the NPC that kind of was guiding the quest. He was in a situation where he needed mercenaries. He brought all of the characters from all the different worlds in to his world.
And that was a plot device I basically took from one of my other games that I was running at the time, because it was such short notice. I was like, we tried to figure out how we're going to get everyone in. We came up with this device, but it was I had to come up with how does that device turn itself on, and how do you guys know what to do and all that stuff. Who delivers the exposition sort of thing. So I basically just took him because, one, I designed him as a NPC for games to be played by the DM, so he's not really likable. And so people...
Which we found out for certain.
He's not... Because one thing as a DM, I hated making NPCs who were like these badasses, and then the people always want to take them along with them and have them travel, and then you got to come up with excuses of why they can't and all this stuff. So I realized if I just make this one guy unlikable for this campaign I was running with my friends, they'd never take him anywhere. And it turned out that was true, but it also created a lot of interesting humor and stuff along the way. So I actually kind of liked the character. So I was like, I'm just going to pull this guy in. And then Iris, the girl for the Crux, she's a concept from the universe. In my comic, she'll come up in a completely different way, but her whole sort of concept of being birthed between a demon and an entity is still canon, basically.
Oh, gotcha. That's actually really cool to see that you were able to bring in those characters from your world as well.
You call that a Nephilim, a spawn of a demon or something?
Well, I think technically the first fallen angels or whatever. My Bible history is pretty bad, but yeah, I think that's the offspring of Nephilim and humans.
I need to get Martina in here to talk about that stuff. She is all studied up on it, and apparently part Nephilim herself. So Steve, you were very successful in creating a character that nobody liked, to the extent that Shae desperately wanted to kill him at the end.
He got killed, didn't he? I recall.
What's that?
I said he did get killed, didn't it?
Yeah.
Everyone wanted to kill him, and I didn't understand.
Do you have people in your background there, Mark?
My house, it's not me. My house is completely empty.
Your
That's
house
how
is
I'm
completely
able
empty. There it is. Yeah.
His name is Chaotic after all.
Chaotic after all. You have a party going on back there.
Nah, I didn't realize you could hear him downstairs.
Oh, wow.
We can hear them. We hear everything.
Yeah, one sec.
I'm always, I don't hide behind my avatar everywhere I go. It's only when I'm at work or something and I'm having to, my background is like my Jeep. So that's the only reason that I ever use my avatar, it seems.
Oh, Mark, you triggered this jazz crab. Stations Against Communism officially disavows this show and channel.
In my communist utopia, we're gonna redistribute free crab meat to everyone. So we're coming for all the crabs. We're gonna We're gonna smash all the crabs that we can find with hammers, and then eat the flesh with on the end of the sickle.
You should keep.
That train's going straight to the gulag, where they're processing the crabs right now.
There you go.
Leg.
And great to see you, Skip Edwards.
What's up, Skip?
Great to see you.
Hello.
Wizard of Oz is just it's a true story. Behind the curtain is just a dusty old Smilingbandito. So where were we? Steve, super unlikable. Definitely everybody wanted to kill him by the end of everything. And we had some friction between some of the guests, between some of the characters. The detectives nobody seemed to want to get along with him. However, we did have some heartfelt moments.
Yeah, you may have made a friend.
Yeah, hopefully.
Friends, from what I understand.
Dude.
I just realized you gave Kilgore his balls back, but not his eye. He's still missing an eye.
And also, hang on, if everyone's back in their original bodies, does he still have balls?
Oh, his balls are gone now, right?
Mm.
Yeah, he's got like some phantom ball syndrome, and like the people, we're obviously carrying the memories of the clones back into our original bodies.
Yeah.
Like, so you have a memory of having testicles.
Oh man,
that's even more traumatic. It's like you lost him, then you got him back, and you lost him again.
However, Shae did point out that she could see them when they were in the surplus store. So she had said to put them away. Hence the reason that Kilgore is currently wearing a sleeping bag as a kilt.
Oh,
yeah,
that's crazy.
So
he got a little bit more than memories then.
Yeah, maybe.
Interesting.
Iris was very compassionate when she brought you back from whatever world that you were in.
Well, that's how she remembered him.
That's right. That would have been exactly how she remembered him.
Because she is a kid still.
And so we are... So we have Steve, who's just kind of dragging us along. He's not being super forthcoming on the details of the mission. He's just saying that the universe is going to collapse in on itself. The fabric of everything going to tear itself apart. And the main characters, the characters going along for the quest, are sort of getting along. They certainly know how to fight, except for the detective, who only ever got one shot off in the first episode, and didn't do
you got one off
damage.
at the end too, I think. Actually, you shot Irendor at the end.
Yeah, but in the first episode, he only got one shot off.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
Useless.
Yeah, I know. I was just kind of and we had Phil trying to hit on all the girls. Not Phil. We had Wildcard trying to hit on all the girls. And what else? Then
the Triceratops.
And the Triceratops.
Yeah.
Kilgore made a friend with the Triceratops that we dragged onto the ship with us.
My animal kin.
There you go. And then we go into our second episode, and we are flying through space. We get attacked by pirates.
The pirates were at the end. They destroyed your ship, and then at the beginning of the next episode was actually when that guy tried to extort you.
Right, the guy, yeah.
The mechanic. And then Kilgore disabled his ship with one shot, and then he ended up having to fix your ship to let you guys go, or else you guys basically started extorted him.
Yeah. We turned it around on him.
That's right.
Yeah, that's how we fixed up. Basically, that is how we fixed up Kilgore.
It's funny you mentioned I worked on Paradise PD, but I swear I had this idea before that show. It's just a coincidence, I swear.
That's hilarious. How many shows have you been on?
A lot.
Paradise PD, Harmon Quest.
Yeah, Rick and Morty, Animals, a bunch of other shit that nobody's ever heard of.
Gotcha. Well,
but it's all great stuff, isn't it?
No, no. I don't even want to mention some of the shows I worked on.
What's the one that you're the least proud of?
Least proud of? Oh. See, the thing is, like, there's a couple of them where I just completely blocked the memory. I don't even remember what the show's called. That's how little shit I gave about it. I'm not gonna throw him under the bus.
There you go. James Hayes, yes. We have a number of people who we've been doing some D&D gaming with. It's an off-brand version of that where we have taken Chaotic Neutral's world, who was our original dungeon master. We took his world and tossed our characters from our books into his world. And made drastic or horribly, no, what am I trying to say? We made terrible choices that did not work out as much as we had hoped.
Mistakes were made.
Many
died.
And we didn't even save that universe, did we? Like that universe collapsed on itself?
Yeah, the anomaly, the Steve hacking into the girl was just too much, and it basically forced the tear. And then once there's the tear, it travels.
Next episode, they're trying to extort us. Oh, sorry. And James, we are currently doing a bit of a recap because we had some scheduling conflict and not everybody can be here. So we're doing a recap, and we'll be introducing the next campaign today as well. So
episode 0 in it.
Say that again.
Episode 0.
Yeah, episode 0.
Say everything that you just said, like in 2 words.
Yeah. Well, I do like to listen to myself talk, apparently. So so second episode of first edition, someone tried to extort us for ship repairs, and we ended up extorting him for free ship repairs. And as we're traveling along, that's when Kilgore and I had a bonding moment as I helped him to regrow his balls. And we pushed for a little bit more information, but we just got a location out of Steve.
Yeah. Right? And the pirates and Judah. Judah used his undead powers to sort of sense where to follow
That's
him.
how we got the location.
Can't forget Judah.
Yep.
Man,
and so then
overpowered. He's so got all these abilities.
I know.
BFG and a Triceratops.
The trappings of a barbarian.
And so we end up going to. There was nothing happy about any of the accidents, and nothing little. As we're about to find out, we go to this temple where the Judah's undead spirit powers led us, and there's a guardian at the gate, at first we weren't able to see this monstrosity that was partially hidden beneath the ground, but as its tentacles were probing us for nefarious intentions, certainly we
challenged its ego.
Yeah, we challenged it, started fighting it, and I tried to understand what this tentacle monster was trying to do, only to be
right.
I thought I was making progress. I thought that I was starting to connect with it, but it decided that it just wanted to devour me, and so I got consumed.
Typical woman.
I know, right? Consumed by the beast. And but thankfully Shae, I think it was Shae who ended up killing it.
No, Judah banished it.
Oh, Judah banished it, right? And I fell to the ground as a little glob of half digested detective.
Oh yeah, that was Michael Bancroft helped out with that too, right?
Yeah, he used his old man powers to part the swamp so you guys could see the temple.
Did you say little man powers then?
Old man.
Old man powers.
Justin Dutton said,
powers.
See you later, buddy.
Great to have you here. Thanks for hanging out. Always good to have you.
Yeah. Bye, if you're still here.
And so we get into the temple and we find out the guy who is a part of the anomaly or a part of the problem. Or was he part of the problem?
No, see, he had his own vendetta. He was a drow, and there was the whole thing with the high elves and the drow, and their planet stopped spinning. So he was trying to use this multiversal device to add a spin to his world again.
Right.
But, wasn't going to work out in the long run.
And in order to do that, he was going to feed this girl to like the nether in order to correct.
Yeah. He's going to tear that hole himself, which would have done the same thing you guys did.
Right. And so Shae got a soft spot for this girl. And she decided that she wanted to save it. She convinced the rest of the party. I was less.
Yeah, her maternal instincts kicked in. Strange.
Yeah. And I was less inclined to saving the girl.
I was on the same boat. I was on the dumper ejector from the airlock or whatever. Were we still in space? Yeah.
Not at that time. Not when we first met her. But Shae wanted to save her instead of sacrificing her.
Big mistake.
So, but we do end up saving the girl, killing the guy. We escort her back to the ship, and she ends up merging with the ship.
Yeah.
Right. And through Steve.
Before you carry on, don't gloss over the moment where I used my super speed to make the planet start turning again.
Yes.
And made it a gay Saturn. You gave it some rainbow rings.
Gave it rainbow rings, yeah. Like my home planet.
Yes, in a blaze of sparkles, Kami Mark came in, shooting through space, and in order to save the planet, flew around it so fast.
After all you guys had fucked off and left the planet, like
Yeah. We were just like, elves. Kami Mark saved the planet, gave it at least a moderate spin. Enough that not enough to correct the problem, just enough to confuse everybody, I would say.
Confuse all the time zones.
Yeah, there you go. And gave it a very gay ring of colors. So everyone on that planet is thoroughly confused, no matter what orientation of being dark or light elves they were.
Did they all turn gay?
What I didn't reveal was I was actually putting makeup on all of them at the same time as well, while they were running around the planet.
So they had a sexual revolution for about 7 hours before the universe blinked out of existence.
Yeah.
Well, if the whole planet turned gay, they're going to die out in a generation anyway. So
there you go.
Yeah. Captain Rainbow isn't actually gay though. Like it's a misconception that people have just because he's a big muscly hunk with the mind of a child.
Taking it back, taking the rainbow back.
We create all forms of confusion. But so the planet's going again. We have the girl on the ship, and she, as you said, through some Akira style biomechanical interfacing, merges with the ship, including the crux that we had brought on board from the planet. And there's no coming out. Vilna, there's no way to surface from this rabbit hole. It just continues to go deeper and deeper. And hopefully we all get to the end of the ride. Great to see you, Red Syrup. We got a dozen people watching us right now.
Noise.
So
there's a bunch of people in your chat that I've never seen before, so I want to take this opportunity to tell them to go and subscribe to my channel and it.
And that is in the description.
Even if you're a troll and you want to leave me dislikes and that, that's fine. Go and click subscribe. Give me the watch hours, please.
Absolutely.
I gotta grab another beer. 1 sec.
Yeah, go for it, man. And so the girl merging with the ship, consuming information. We saw from Steve Steve was looking at a computer screen and saw that she was downloading all the information from that universe that had I guess that's something we glossed over. That universe had adopted all 90s culture, hence the reason that it pulled us from the worlds that it did.
Oh yeah, I missed that part.
Yeah, we I don't know, chaotic. I think we were not able to stay on topic enough that chaotic wasn't able to work it in enough.
What was that? The what?
The 90s culture.
Insanity? Oh yeah. Well, that was just the fact that aliens talked like New Yorkers and stuff like that. Like it's spread around everywhere. People still use bullets instead of completely only lasers and stuff like that.
We've only got one moderator in the chat. You should give me a spanner. You should redistribute.
If you make a comment,
I'm gonna say
I will
redistribute the branches.
If you make a comment, I'll make you moderator.
It's done.
Redistribute wrenches.
Give a wrench. Give a wrench.
Everyone gets a wrench on my channel.
It's the communist way.
Yeah, you just have to hand your wrench back in at the end of the day so I can give it to someone else.
Not enough wrenches to go around, unfortunately. Oh, I got it. But anyway.
Perfect.
Hell yeah.
Go team.
So the girl is jacking our ship. We're not quite sure what she's doing. We do see that she's downloading a lot of information. And Shae gets really worried about this.
Yeah, she gives you an ominous message a couple times that it's coming, and you guys don't know exactly what she's talking about.
Yeah. And we also know that she has a father that is definitely has malicious intent.
He's a demon. You guys met him before. His name is Azalder. Yeah, he's one of the guys you ran into in space. He hailed you and you had a quick conversation with him, but it wasn't.
Oh, that was the same dude?
Yeah, it was the same guy.
How come he didn't fight us back then?
Because he didn't know you had the crux. He scanned your ship, remember? And then on the way back, you had her. So he's like, okay, I'm getting her.
Gotcha. So we have Iris, who is, like I said, jacking our ship. And Shae gets super upset, super worried about everything, and decides to kill her. So she starts chopping away. And at that same time, that's when the guy shows up, right?
So what happens is, Steve was hacking into her. She starts turning into the thing. Shae is down there with her, and you guys are all at the bridge because
we're fighting other dudes.
Yeah, Judah got attacked by his two crewmates. He pulled you away from the girl, basically, and then he popped up down there with Shae. Shae started fighting him as the girl's morphing into this Akira cocoon, and then you ended up going down there and joining the fight with Shae and shooting Azalder and all that stuff, and then the ship got pulled apart
through the fucking window, didn't I? On purpose,
to suck everyone out in space.
Yeah, and actually prior to that as well, you went in and punched a couple guys in the balls, or at least one guy in the balls.
Snake Man in his inner sexual organs.
Yeah,
because I got X-ray vision in it because I can see the entire electromagnetic spectrum because rainbow powers.
Rainbow powers. So we got a couple characters up on the main deck who are all fighting. I'm in a losing fight. They touched my arm or something like that. And,
you were just partially disintegrated.
Right, I was partially disintegrated. Absolute, yes. Actually, that's very true. Hold on a sec, sorry. This is how I do it. I was going to respond in chat. That's actually exactly it. Red Valkyrie is a raging drunk, an alcoholic. Doesn't like her lot in life of dragging people to the afterlife, and basically drowns her woes in the bottom of every bottle. And that only further fuels her rage. And So we're fighting up on the main deck. I'm in a losing fight. Shae cries out that something weird's happening, and I'm the only one that hears her, right?
Yeah, you're the only one who heard. Everyone else was like, let's go get lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I run down to the main hall, and I see her fighting. She's trying to kill Iris. She's fighting her Iris's dad.
Yeah.
Right. And basically nobody's really winning in anything. I think they killed a couple people up on the main deck.
Yeah, they killed Azalder's crew, but you guys never actually killed Azalder. He was when the girl started doing all that stuff and changing things and tearing the veil, it summoned the herald of the sculptor basically, and it was a demon that is basically a black hole, but it like opens up and has a form, and it actually has all these cool abilities. I was gonna do as like a boss fight, but just the time restricts on everything, and
that's what it was that caught. Okay.
Yeah, there's this interesting thing. I asked like Kilgore what his mom's name was. I was talking to Wildcard about Scar, the dog. There was all these like nightmare scenarios because this demon, it feeds off of like people's energy and memories and stuff. So it was one of its abilities is like a swallowing ability, like it swallows you whole. And if you got in there, it's basically a whole nother demi-plane within the creature, and it feeds off your nightmares. So like Wild Card was going to see his dog Scars and be like, you left me alone, blah blah blah. And it's going to turn into a werewolf, or it's not a dog, it's a wolf. Red Valkyrie was going to have an old partner that she left behind that I just sort of made up in her backstory that felt bad and was going to start fighting her. Kilgore, it was his mom, sort of grazing in the darkness, and a truck of rednecks was going to pull up and throw her in the back of the truck and run away or drive away. And that's basically as far as I got with the planned ones. I had a couple other ones, but
what was mine?
Yours was the woman that you told me about, right?
Oh, okay.
She was going to start talking to you, and then she was going to walk out, would be just sort of a vague shape because I don't know much about her. But she was going to basically start trying to convince you to eat your friends.
Right. Well, another interesting mechanic that we never got to work in was the madness. Yeah. And basically, because we were immortal, even if we died, our body would regenerate and we'd come back. The idea, though, is that each time it happened, it would be a little bit less well constructed, and we would start to kind of lose a few things in our personality and start going insane. And we'd have to do a madness check every now and then in order to ensure that we were on task, basically.
Yeah, but it just gets played out. It gets a little convoluted too. It's only 2 hours. It's rough. Yeah.
Well, and with it being our first time kind of doing this and trying to figure out how to make everything work, it was
weird.
It was difficult to work in. It was a complication to work in.
And most of the people haven't played too. Some people know about it and have played. I've played, but most people, haven't played any. So it's like everyone's kind of got to get comfortable. That's just normal with role playing if you're not an improver.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to have you here. Nerd is the word.
Good day.
What up?
So we have Kemosabe, a man, or what was his name? What's the
Judah? Judah was the character name.
Judah was dead, but mostly because he couldn't show up that day.
Yeah.
Carla was dead because she wasn't able to show up that day. She was Lee had suffered an injury in real life and wasn't able to show up. Carla was like 1,000% pregnant. And there was one other person who didn't show up that day.
No, Phil had to go early is what it was.
Oh, Phil had to leave early. That's what it was.
That's why that's what rushed the whole black hole thing, because there would have been like another 45 minutes of a fight. But you have to work with what you have. It is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, Shae. So everyone else is partying up on the main bridge. I hear Shae screaming for help. I run down in order to help with her fighting Iris's father, and additionally trying to kill Iris herself. And that was when Kami Mark burst through the window.
Yeah,
Sucking almost everybody out into space.
Exactly.
it was a great plan, and I'd do it again.
Yeah.
I will do it again.
It was a good plan. Those are the kind of things that make that they change the whole environment of the fight, not just one turn where you shoot someone to do damage. That's the kind of stuff that really can change the whole dynamic. It's really good stuff.
Yeah, that's what Kami Mark does. He makes he changes dynamics and makes planets confused.
That's the second planet that I made confused in that day. That is,
The second, what was the first?
well, our one in it. Like, still watching the show on.
Ah, yes. Life imitating art, imitating life. So I go down there, half maimed, and the Shae has succeeded in splitting open the cocoon. That is Iris, and she is trying to fight off Iris's father. I do a little bit of damage to Iris's father, but in the end, proved somewhat ineffective. The only thing that I seem to have done right was looking into the cocoon. I saw that there was this orb nestled in there that was slightly glowing, and so I took it.
Yeah.
Took the orb.
Yeah, Phil cast his black hole spell to reverse the gravity on the ship and try and save everyone from being sucked out into space. And then Steve pressed a button and shut the window. Very anticlimactic.
Yeah, and he had to dig deep for that spell too. He'd been saving it for a while.
Mm. And but then that's also when that black hole entity showed up and basically split the ship into its individual parts. The screws and everything sort of separated out, and you guys were all just sort of floating in space. And yeah, you saw the orb and dashed towards it. You and Oswaldo were basically going for it, but you grabbed it, and when you grabbed it, the veil was still tearing, but you sort of had influence over the pieces. You were the puzzle builder at that moment, and so your instincts sort of took you back to your place, sent people back to their place, and then started summoning back to help you.
When was it that we killed Steve? What didn't I do that before?
Yeah, that was right before you went back
Yeah.
home. You asked him where all this took place, and I showed you something that happened at the very start of one of my other games that even the players didn't uncover because I didn't ask Steve any questions. But that's one of the things that happened at the very beginning of that game, where he goes into this temple on Mars and finds this artifact and basically starts this whole anomaly process where the reality starts changing around this artifact. And yeah,
Freaking Mars.
yep, Mars always ruins everything.
Damn dirty Martians.
It was based off Doom.
No.
Another moment where I used my outside of the box style, because there was two Steves there, weren't there? Like
Yep.
one from a different time or something.
One from the future, one from the past.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the one that wasn't with us was leading like an army of dudes in it, like to the temple on Mars or whatever. And I used the super speed to run and swap them over in it. My plan was that our Steve would be like, "Oh, hang on, guys, it's the other way," like, and lead them off in some other direction. But he just fucked off because he's a prick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we couldn't depend on Steve.
Well, he unlocked the thing, so he knew if he didn't go with them, they wouldn't be able to access it. Basically, he told them that he had food poisoning and went back to the ship.
He did what he could, and then Shae decided that she needed to kill old Steve. Did that in itself create any problems for older Steve?
No, because he basically just replaced himself. He's just in that spot in time with more knowledge. So he has some future knowledge. He might make some money on some bets or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't change him much. He didn't learn much. He's not that kind of character who has growth.
Gotcha.
He's
So
a one note.
People like that somehow always end up coming out on top, don't they? Like people who never learn lessons, like still horrible shitty people, still somehow win. Pricks.
yeah, it's like the Dumb and Dumber.
Well, it's like the dead fish. It always gets carried with the stream.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
I like that. I'm gonna write that down.
I like that. Yeah. So we head back to. I just got to pull something up here. We head back to our own. So I see that the universe is still falling apart, right?
Yeah, that universe that he was in, it's still unraveling in his time. So that bubble of the multiverse, which technically isn't the exact one from my comic, but the way I built my multiverse is there are all these individual bubbles, and the bubbles next to them are ones that are similar, like they're very similar, and then it just sort of devolves from that and gets to like more different. So like one little thing can be different in one universe from the other one. And Steve, he's gone through so many of them. At the point you guys have met them in his original universe, there wasn't even aliens or anything like that. It was just humans. So yeah.
And so as everything is falling apart, I use Iris, who has been whispering in my ear. We have some sort of connection now, which, I mean, Chaotic and I had talked a little bit about how we were going to move into the next campaign. I just gave him notes as to what my next campaign was going to look like. And he created some sort of bond between the detective and this sphere. And so, which is just another voice for the detective to be hearing. And she says to him that the detective can change reality or send everybody back somehow. The detective doesn't know how, but she figures it out. She ends up being able to understand what his intent is.
Yeah.
And follow through with it. There we go. That's the way to say it.
Yeah, she's basically telepathically bound with you and can feel what you feel. So she just sort of did that.
Gotcha. And so the detective wakes up in his original story. But as soon as he lands, another portal starts opening up. And the detective has this ability to kind of feel, understand, sense demons and arcane things around him because of his past. And he knows that there's demons on the other side of this portal. And so he looks into his pocket and he still has Iris with him. And he summons his friends to his world in order to start fighting these demons that are going to be coming through.
Yep.
And
unknown.
Yeah, somewhat unknown. And everyone shows up, and what Iris is able to do now is, as a sphere, of course, you need energy in order to make something, so she disassembles things around her and recreates them as the characters. So Iris is now Crux.
Yeah, they're one and the same now.
They were one and the same. So the new campaign isn't going to have all the characters from previously. And so Crux can sense, can feel, can remember who those people were. But there is certain things that are interfering and makes it so that she's able to pull new characters in. One of them, instead of the Silver Streak, played by Call Me Mark, is going to be Captain Rainbow.
Yeah, because I was basically being Captain Rainbow anyway. Like, I chose to be the Silver Streak because he's a character in the Not Daredevil book that I'm bringing out. Then as soon as the very first moment, I was like, and there's a rainbow behind me. Like, immediately like fell into Captain Rainbow. So I thought I might as well just do some work on that character, like work out a bit more about who he is, chisel some muscles.
It could even be that because Iris is a child, she pulled a different character from the multiverse that's similar to the one you're playing, that's similar to that Silver Streak, but she actually pulls Captain Rainbow. So you could play it that you're a completely different character, or that guy was Captain Rainbow all along. I don't know. It depends on what you want to do.
Captain Rainbow all along. Like, I don't think I ever arrived and said, "It's me. My name is the Silver Streak."
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, I think that's plausible. I'm sure someone will, at some point in time, will go through the history of this show, and we'll be like, how did this happen? Why did Silver Streak suddenly become Captain Rainbow? Because there's probably one mention of the name somewhere. But yeah, so Silver Streak Captain Rainbow falls onto the pavement. We got Kilgore, who shows up on the pavement. Shae, we know, showed up.
Balls intact.
Balls intact, yeah. Well, Shae didn't have balls intact. Kilgore had balls intact. And the detective runs everybody into a surplus store across the street and says, you're going to want to find some weapons because we got these demons that are coming through. And he went off to call some friends. Shae picked up some tactical gear and a claymore sword. Captain Rainbow picked up a tutu and a feather boa, I believe.
And a fishing rod.
And which? And a fishing rod.
Yeah.
And Kilgore wasn't entirely successful. Yeah, he wasn't entirely successful in his search. He picked up a shotgun, but he did find a shotgun behind the with a drum magazine. And
pretty handy.
Yeah. And he, because of peer pressure, he ended up grabbing a sleeping bag to wrap around his bull balls.
Yeah.
So he's wearing that as a kilt right now.
I can't wait to start that next one too, because like you said, when one of the funny things is when we see we're talking about the transition, you had wrote that little transition piece, like I wrote the beginning of mine or whatever, and I only got half of it. So like when you started going to the second half, I was like, wait, am I here?
You know what's funny? I only have half of it now too. I can't find the second page. I know I got it here somewhere. Wait. Ask.
Yeah, no. I plan on just running in, fucking looking for clothes.
Yeah.
Because we were summoned out in the street, right?
What's that?
Weren't we summoned like out in the street, Terminator style?
Yeah, you're summoned out in the street, Terminator style, and that's hilarious. I got on my computer, I have one page. In my hand, I have one page, but both of them are the same page. I cannot find the second page to that. Anyway,
it's fate.
Yeah, it's lost to time. And so you're summoned. Yeah, you were summoned out in the street, Terminator style. Not all the characters were described. We have, what's his name? Oni?
His name's Inu. That's what he goes by, which just means dog, because he was raised by the Yakuza, and that's what they treated him as. So,
right. Do you have any artwork? If you guys have any artwork that you want me to share with the characters, share screens. And so, not all the characters were described. I left it purposely vague because we didn't know who was going to be joining us in the next campaign. But we have Death Metal Luke. Death Metal Hero Luke, who is going to be joining us with his character. We have Shae's going to be there. Death Metal Hero. Kami Mark obviously is going to be there. Joe King is going to be there.
That's right.
There we go.
There's a trading card. This is going to be a reward. For the campaign for Slaughter Squad, but I based the stats loosely on the D&D stats.
Oh, gotcha. That's hilarious.
That's cool. I've been wanting to do something like that for my guys. I've tried, but I don't have the graphic design ability to make it look good. It looks cheesy.
That's why you got to hire people for that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm going to at some point when I actually do the cards, but I was just playing around.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, go for it.
And so we're going to have Kilgore. We're definitely going to have Red Valkyrie. We're going to have Captain Rainbow. I believe Lee with Judas will be returning. I don't know if he wants to sit out this entire campaign or not. And then we have Okri Okuri.
Okuri Inu. Yeah.
Okay, Inu.
Okuri Inu.
Okuri Inu. Gotcha.
Yeah, there you go.
That's my attempt at the card when I was just fucking around.
Yeah. And he is a demon.
Oh well,
inhabiting.
He's not a demon. He's a Japanese man who was a demon was imprisoned deep within his aura, so it physically changed his body. So it's something that he's struggling. It's a metaphor for struggling with your inner demons. It's a little on the head.
No, sometimes that's what you need.
Oh, it's my first big comic, so I figured you shouldn't go too crazy.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so as the detective comes back from talking to, he went to the back in order to make a phone call. He comes back to talk to the group, and as he's about to explain what's happening, a tentacle reaches through the window, wraps around his chest, and pulls him back into the darkness, presumably to be consumed by a demon again. And Iris Crux, she is left behind. Everybody that's there has found whatever weapons that they could, whatever gear that they could, and they can hear the swarms of demons in the street, and something significantly bigger also growling at them.
In my mind, I see naked Okuri Inu fighting naked cannibals.
Yeah, there'll be some of that too. So in this world, this is my world from my comic. It is a world where the veil between worlds has always been a little bit thin. And so you do end up having a lot of demonic activity where it's a little bit commonplace. It's not, it's kind of like catching COVID. You know, you know it's out there, but you really don't know many people that have been affected by it. But you're not surprised when you meet someone who has.
Nice.
Yeah, it is. My story is about Peter Pan, or it's not about Peter Pan, but it's basically if Peter Pan had been running a bunch of cannibals through Neverland, decided that he didn't want to be a part of that anymore, ran away, but Wendy came looking for him afterwards.
Yeah, so Peter Pan.
Yeah, so Peter Pan. And so, anyway, that's the world that we're in. When Peter Pan left, he became a detective in a city that he had hoped just to be able to hide out in. All right, so now that gets us all caught up on the story, I think.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much everything.
Is there anything that we missed out on that you guys were particularly fond of from the last campaign?
Maybe we mentioned the Triceratops. We got,
I am going to make a note to make sure that we find a way to bring that guy. Bring the character.
Did you name the Triceratops right? Didn't you name?
Oh, I think I named her
Betsy.
Betsy?
After your mom.
Well, yeah.
Wasn't it?
Betty.
Betty, yeah.
Betty?
Betty is not a dinosaur's name, is it?
But Betty is.
It fits. This is not the first time a dinosaur has gotten a human name in one of my campaigns.
Wait, it's not a name appropriate for a dinosaur. It's like, you know, when someone has a dog called Clive, and you're like, that's a human name. Like that.
Clive?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like
Red
naming a
Syrup.
dog Daryl.
Huh?
Just to comment on Red Syrup there, that's a bridge I hope, or I fear having to cross, because it means you're just a part of the collective now.
I have to have one for work. It's fucking annoying.
They're pretty strict about it around here, too. You can't walk into a store without putting a mask on.
Yeah, they just made it law, or they just made it mandatory here now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gay!
Yeah, well, it's the world we live in now.
Just cut a hole in it. They can't stop you, right?
Oh, that shit was so funny. That chick walking around. I couldn't breathe, so I just cut a hole in it.
What's his name? McCaffrey. He got busted. He was wearing his wife's thong on his face for a face mask.
Fucking shit, that's awesome.
But he actually got arrested.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It's out of control.
There was there's this one store that I was in, and the family was walking around, and they had face shields on, and it's like, how does that stop anything? You just cough in, and it goes around. I mean, you think you're being cool, but you're not really doing much for anybody.
Yeah, you go to the store and they have just a small plastic shield up. It's like, yeah, that totally stops airflow.
Yeah, the theater in everything that we have to do now.
It's a fear thing.
Yeah, it's just theater, right? It's just
all the world is a stage.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have taken up almost an hour of these good people's time. I think we are as successful as we're going to end up being today.
Yeah, it was a good recap. I give it a 10 out of 10. Would recap again.
7.5 out of 10.
Oh, how dare you.
I rate everything on a scale of 5 hammers and sickles. So I'm going to give you 6 hammers and 7 sickles.
Oh, nice.
Perfect.
Sorry, that's not right. 3 hammers and 4 sickles.
Well, we don't want to hit our stride yet. So, I mean, being mediocre now means that we have room to be amazing later on.
Yeah,
also, it's not too far to fall from if that's the other trajectory.
Plus,
what you're discussing now, like starting off shit, that's why I had to deliberately go back and make my book a little bit worse, before I sent it out, so the next one could be an improvement on that one.
Exactly. And you don't want to ever be a 10 out of 10 on anything, because that becomes a standard. So, especially with communism, everybody needs to work below max efficiency so that nobody has to feel like they have to step up in order to contribute too much.
Right. Instead of lifting people up,
the person that ends up saying this is where we should be ends up making it so that everybody else has to work that much harder.
Yeah, so you just cut them all like trimming the grass. You just make them all little.
This pandemic has shown us which jobs are essential to run society and which ones aren't. And if everyone who's been sent home to sit on their asses did half, if we shared out the essential jobs, we'd only have to work 2 days a week each. It would work. We could all spend the extra 5 days a week at home doing all the gay art shit that we want to do in it.
Yeah. Actually, that's why I like the European siesta. That's freaking awesome. Or Spain. I don't know if it's anywhere other than Spain, but that seems awesome. Just nap in the middle of the day.
They actually did a study of that in Japan, where they took all their workers that were working, I think 10-hour days and stuff, and they started giving them 2 naps throughout the day. And their productivity went up 60% or 40% or something.
Nice.
There was a percentage of increase.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just science. So I guess, we just have to start taking naps now. Come on.
No,
the salary man in Japan works fucking hard.
You missed all the
Cheeto
deaths.
code.
Rotten, you missed all the deaths, unfortunately.
You missed the part where Bandito got raped by a gang of Minotaurs.
Yeah.
Close. I was totally just too close to kill God, that is, isn't it? I was trying to go random and I went for a thing right next to something that we've got.
Well, my back hole was torn asunder.
Yeah, and then he got raped.
And then.
There's no coming back from that one.
So, I think we can look to wrap this up, unless anybody has anything to add.
I want to tell people that in 12 minutes, I'm doing a show on my channel in it, so
everyone can watch. That's the
we can
narwhal
definitely do
way.
the party over there.
Oh yeah, I'm going.
And I'm gonna be doing something like this. We're gonna be, or just come over and you'll see. We're doing
Hell yeah, dude.
called Narwhal versus the AI.
Oh yes.
Awesome.
Gonna pit him against some AI writing machine. See who comes out on top.
Yeah. I've stepped up my narwhal lifestyle, and I've noticed a 50% increase in people smelling me at work. So it's going
There
good.
you go. It is the narwhal way. Eventually, we're going to blend all the best things of every streamer, and we'll just have one amazing show that teaches exactly how to be out in the world. It'll be a communist narwhal hybrid or something.
That's the way right there.
Mhm. All right. Well, thank you everyone for being here. Chaotic, do you want to plug anything before I?
Yeah, if you go to see, I'll share it actually real quick.
Hold on. You got a.
Oop. There we go. Share my page. But on Indiegogo, if you look up Ukudi Inu, the Oni Within, you can sign up for my mailing list right now. It's going to close probably next month, I believe. And it's got, if you sign up for the mailing list, you'll get an extended preview, 11 pages instead of just the 4 that's on my Twitter. So if you want to see what my hero is about, Okudi Inu, see how badass he is, you can go ahead and sign up for that. And I just paid for the 11th page on that preview today. So that should be done soon, within the next couple weeks. So you should be able to get it inked and colored and lettered. So that'll be fun.
That's super cool. The artwork on this is looking amazing. I
Bruce
cannot.
My covers are Kanan White, Rob Willis, and then Bruce is going to do a cover. I've got that Acevedo print that I'm going to throw up there. You can search my Twitter and find that. Yeah, man, there's this is blowing away all my expectations I had for my first real graphic novel attempt. I mean, I've written several, but I've never actually been able to get an artist to stick with it because I was doing the Vega Neutron thing, and that the artist dipped out on that, and that was the same thing, like a 60-page graphic novel. But it's going good, man. It's going good.
Can you drop that link in the chat? If you guys are, just so that people can, for the 5 people that are currently watching.
I'm going to drop that in the chat. Boom.
Perfect. I tried to grab it off of my description, but it ended up grabbing like everything. So not just the link. All right. Kami Mark, you are currently going over to Narwhal's stream.
Yeah. Well, no, it's going to be on my channel, but yeah.
Oh, it's going to be on your channel?
Gotcha. And I just want to say to the one person who is watching the replay and has sat all the way through to this point, you're gay.
Right along with all of us. Yeah.
No, I know you're gay. You stuck till the end.
Takes one to know one.
All right. And do you want, where is Not Daredevil? A link for that.
I don't have one handy. One sec.
All right. Well, you're getting that. Joe, is there anything that you would like to?
Yeah. You want to screen share? I will shill.
Yes.
I linked your thing, Mark, in the chat. If anyone's curious.
Yeah. Slaughter Squad. Check it out.
So as Baby Killer Bancroft likes to point out, this is me about to get gorged.
Yeah, that's you.
on the right hand side there. Yeah, there we go.
It's spitting image of Bandito.
Spitting
Totally
image.
Coincidence. Total coincidence.
Kind of funny that it does kind of look like him, though.
It's because you're such a good portrait artist, isn't it? Like, it's a demonstration of your skills. Like, capture something good like this.
I am somewhat relieved that I'm not being mistaken for the guy on the left. So, I mean, there is something to be said for being misidentified. And so, yeah, scroll down a little bit. Show us. Tell us.
Have a look. I just changed the featured perk.
Oh,
So you get both variants, prints, and the making of. So the variant cover is by Dax Martian.
for how much? What was the price?
That's 75.
Oh, wow. So you get 2 books plus the making of.
Yep. And you get some posters, prints.
Nice.
0 claims. Come on.
Oh, we'll get that up eventually for certain.
Come and get it.
Awesome. And then the cover, the one of the variant covers is done by
Dax
Martian. Yeah.
I got
Which-
Daredevil actually for not Daredevil, like a really cool thing. I don't think I've shown anyone that. Yeah.
Okay. We can definitely show that. If you
No,
got
I'm not saying it here. I'm not wasting it on your 5 viewers.
what?
Good call.
Damn. Oh, savage.
That fucking cover though is awesome, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dax.
Yeah, I backed the second time for it, so it worked.
Oh, thanks, man. Thank you. And the first cover's not bad.
No, it's not. It's not. I backed it too, but that cover. I love that fucking cover, man.
Yeah. Dax did a great job. I kind of wish I could just hire him to do the rest of it for me. Like, I don't want to draw any.
I know that feeling. That's why I started writing.
Yeah. Follow Dax on Twitter, Dax Martian. There's a lot of cool stuff. And then buy the cover that he did.
Absolutely. All right. You guys are super awesome. I appreciate everything that you've brought to this project. Everyone's putting in a lot of time and a lot of effort, and I hope that it brings a lot of entertainment for the people who do end up watching it. Next week, we'll probably be on Shae's channel if as we tend to jump back and forth. We might be going on Chaotix. We can definitely go on Commie Marks since he's part of the team. Joe, I don't know if you have enough space on your channel yet.
Yeah, I'm still using the free version of StreamYards.
But if that changes, we might be jumping over there as well. So, to
Or if
the
enough people die.
yeah, exactly. If we end up slimming down through occurrences out of our control.
I mean, if we gotta cull the herd, the cow's the first to go. I'm just kidding.
No!
Well, Kilgore was always a less morally complicated choice for eating than the other characters.
Maybe not for the detective.
Well, for the detective, he was a less moralistically complex choice. Yeah. And for the half dozens of people that will end up watching this, absolutely appreciate everybody who wants to be a part of this and join in the chat. And thank you, everyone. Let's. I have a thing.
Grab his dick and twist.
No!
Hail and well met.